again, and welcome to another episode of the Health Talk Show right here on Promise City TV. My name is Deborah Ahen, and I'm going to lead you through today's show. Before we get into what we have for today, we'd like to thank God for providing us this day, for making everything available unto us. It is just by His grace and His mercies that we are still alive, and He has made today available and readily for us. We would also like to thank our mother, the general overseer and the visionary behind Promise City TV, Apostle Mrs. Bernice Ajamai Prempe. Mommy, wherever you are, we say God richly bless you. Thank you so much for such a big vision that through it all, we are able to come here and serve God through our works. Also, would like to thank our Papa, Mr. Benjamin Ajamai Prempe, wherever you are. Daddy, we say God bless you so much for your love and your support. And to all the members of Promised Land Faith Ministries International, we say thank you for your support day in and day out. Promised Land Faith Ministries International has 3 branches. We have one at Tema Community 1 behind the Goyle filling station. We also have another one at Atadeka Ashaiman 40 Rooms Coco Junction, and our headquarters or main auditorium is at Promise City New Doyum, the first right turn after the Frontier filling station. You can come and worship with us at any of these auditoriums. Our hands are open to you. If you want to worship with Promised Land Faith Ministries International, we have Monday, we go for Facebook Bible Study Live right here on Promise City TV, or you can log on to Promised Land Faith Ministries International on Facebook for our live Bible study sessions. And on Wednesday, join Apostle Mrs. Bernice Ajamai Prempe for Faith Hour at Tema Community 1, right behind the Goy filling station, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. every Wednesday for our Faith Hour service. And we have our Manifestation Half-Night service every Friday, 8 p.m. to 12 a.m. at Tema Community 1, right behind the Goy filling station. And we have our Sunday service, the Victory service, 8 a.m. at Tema Community 1, behind the Goy filling station. And on Sunday, 6 p.m., we have Visitation Hour at Atadeka 40 Rooms Coco Junction at Shaiman. So if you live at Ashaiman and its environs, we welcome you and we invite you to join Promised Land Faith Ministries International at Atadeka 40 Rooms, Coco Junction. PCTV brings you Visitation Hour with Apostle Mrs. Bernice Ajamai Prempe every Tuesday to Friday, 12 noon, right here on PCTV. And on Wednesday, join Arabi for Exhortation Drive Time. It is a time of worship, a time of encouragement, a time where we strengthen our faith in the Lord. Join Arabi right here on PCTV every Wednesday for Exaltation Drive Time. And for a time of inspiration, join Pastor Jessica every Thursday, 3 p.m. prompt, right here on Promise City TV for Inspirational Hour, where we have conversations with people who have made it in life, who has passed through the storms of life and have gotten knowledge and experience. They share it with us so that we can also use it as we also journey through our life. And on Sundays as I am seated here right before your screens, we bring you the Health Talk Show right here on PCTV. Your health is very important and your health is our concern. So as we are worshiping God, as we are praising God, that we must take into consideration our health. So with that being said, we'll dive into today's discussion. So today we're going to be treating common cold. We call it common cold, but it is not as common as we see it. If it is not taken care of well, if it is not treated well, it is going to have a lot of consequences on our lives. So when we say common cold, what is common cold? So common cold is simply a viral infection that affects our upper respiratory tract. So our respiratory tract, we have the upper, we have the lower. So common cold is a viral infection that affects mostly the upper respiratory tract. So it is an infection. It is also known as rhinitis. Why? Because it is caused by the rhinovirus. So rhinitis means inflammation or infection by the rhinovirus. What are some of the signs and symptoms of common cold? Say a common cold and I say a baby because when you're kata and I'm can kata a infection and I say a be a brain because infection. See where your upper respiratory tract and your minimum na your throat team nti e ka se common cold and any common cold na obi obisa say den na be ma hu say benya common cold and I say niema bi e be dan ne ho di e che say wenya common cold if it's a common cold na ba efiti prekopa na emba emma o one or two things eyi ne ho di wo niema ba ko mienu mu bi emma hu say obenya common cold di kind say obi hu say ominim ekekau and I say o throat ekekau bon se wa na wo kwan ominim na wo kwan ominim ai che say eye niema nkitikiti bi che say onya common cold enti ade ba kwa common cold e ba e de ba yesa ade no se na ominim ekekau be the day before you're okay but I say the following day sorry which say ominim kekau enye serious but kawo kakra na che say common cold na onya ne infection no are affected upper respiratory tract na say uminim tati say keka na say wanye hwe amfa ho a bon say na afei ade eche no na ama eja sore throat enti won say na ase we lose voice and I say uminim eya oya because akeka bon say ekeka so bon say na wo kwan uminim because emu keka enti wanye hwe amfa ho na e sore throat na bro afei say sore throat so wanye hwe amfa ho afei de won say na infection e tre na na say e tre ni shim infection ya de bia ana say rhinovirus no oye mwawa ona so mo ye mwawa bia say o attack o na say o ma wo sign we na say wanye hwe amfa ho wan fe duro bia wanye hwe amfa ho na o hye ne ho kena and I said it aggravates, the infection begins to spread. So when it starts from the itchy throat, then it comes to the sore throat. Then before you realize, it would progress into the runny nose. Then now you would know that a fin shoes and a friend a runny nose. I feel echo, no such say sneezy. Na afena won say aha obi won no mo betwa ohun so ostinzia no ohun say kata ache me ana say menya cold and so before no emma wo sa insunsuanso ana ebobo san ka ye nyina na so wan ma wani anko ho no enti say ekọ nanim a na bon say na afi de emma wo sneezing afi usneezia na I say bowa usneezi ba ko mienu na say ode ewa ba ko bia ba be fem usneezi ba ko mienu bia na afi de ode ewa ba be fem eti the more usneezi to aso no afi say wani ase de efinsuom eti efi nketwa mu na say starting kitinkiti san na wanya ho hwea bon say na ekọ akesiem ana say enti afi de kwa na virus ne fa upper respiratory tract ni na fe de ho bon say na wuti pai wo eja wo ti pai because the more usneezing bon say na uti ya na the more so am wo hwinimu finsuo na obo wan sanyema we na bon say na eja wo ti pai na say wanya hwenso amfa wana ama wo general body weakness na ma ohuna mu nyina aye omre na che say cold no anase emwa na ekosi cold no wanya hwe amfa ho infiti ase ni nti ama oma hye yare ni mu ekena to bi beka se nti se mi hu sansu sayen ketinketi na den na meyem otimi ko drugstore bi ebe hu bia na waka se urema no aka chom se upese ase uminimu kekao ana se uminimu eyewo ya what start to say but what say usnizina o suspect say your cold ebe more with some of the over the counter medications and your friend into our drugstore be a DEBORAH drugstore catch a pharmacist and I say nipa no drugstore no say I say ofele say minimum kekao I say say na ho ye on onya ba benya cold and be more with some pain relief bia obetim dey relieve you ho say cough and so setting in so ebe more cough mixtures and I say cough suppressants na epo na release nasal congestion afei nso sɛ ohini mu fi nso so a ya wo nasal congestions wo hono ma mo so mo de be ma wo de ku ohini ma na afei release tension na ɛwɔ ohini mu nyinam obisa sɛ yiti yeni aduro ba kwa yede ma common cold there be aduro ba ko ni ho abeka sɛ sei aduro we me fa ebekɔ na emmom sɛ ye so common cold ano am ye so ano wɔ nsunsuaye anasɛm Niema na edi no bo ni beka say signs and symptoms. So it is based on the signs and the symptoms that we see. That is how we fight the common cold. So if you have a headache, you get pain relief. That it relieves you of your pain. When you have runny nose, you get these nasal drops and that it helps with the runny nose. When you have cough, we give you cough syrups that it helps with the cough. When you have itchy throat or sore throat, you get medications for sore throat, then you use it to fight the various signs and symptoms for common cold. Senya yera rainy season yimu and I say yeah ben rainy season common cold ya dear e babe ye very easy to affect us intino ye ma ye edi kan bon kai said be ya wo hono mo na se wo sanya man kitin ye ya no wa ma wani akohu ye na wetimi ayeden abo ho ban. Sena medical kai say common cold a viral infection enti se ubenya common cold and ase ubenya kata achi se virus ni bi abo era umojenim and ase abora umu na afei amawo these clinical manifestations and signs and symptoms say when you're common cold ti se obi anya common cold na otse ne nchen anase oben no na se osneezy anase okofe not droplets anase ni ntasuo ni bi ekawa na se ebora omu a na se emwawa ni bi ewo sa droplets ni mu a enu ema eye infected by this common cold. It is a very contagious infection. And to say obi enya bi na se oben no too much na se want to keep precaution na obetimi enya bi. Ti obi enya common cold na se obowa go so osinzi go so anase osinzi gu ade so na se ode wonsa akofa anase ebinu hono ma omunya common cold na se omu sneeze instead of say they will sneeze into their elbow and they will sneeze into a tissue and throw it away. On man ne so and we sneeze into was any droplets no a fly in na mriem bi beto table so e bi beto doorknob so e bi beto baby bebre akonya so e bi abottle bi si hono mu osneeze e bi ato so wonso waba be fa bottle no unnim se droplets e bi wo so ana e bi ni so ofa ode wonsa kɔ one ode wonsa kɔ ohwene na virus ni bi ewura wo mu a e ma unya common cold. Into your best say when you're common cold na say onam ni pemwa aya na wa show nose mask and I say you sneeze here you sneeze into a tissue and I say you sneeze into your elbow because your elbow no sneeze wo honoma there is no way that the droplets will fly around but say ujina petebu na say sneeze without covering your nose and your mouth your droplets will fly around and then it would cause or it will get other people to get contaminated. And so the appropriate way for sneezing when you have cold is to sneeze into your elbow. To where your elbow is say then you sneeze into it or you sneeze into a tissue and dispose it right after use. Oh yeah, I was showing sa with soap and running water fe and I say oh koni pemu na say when you're cold I say person obeka say go be so and I say obe breathe go bisa no hye no smack se de be ya o bo woni ni pakroni nya ho ban se de be ya yen spread common cold infection intine se wa wenya cold and se won so oben obi a wenya cold ni eya no ahwe ho so yi se nipa na extend na nipa na kasa you must stand some feet away from the person. Say they are covered by na protocol social distancing. It will be making sure the nipa na sneeze ya ben bebre said be any droplets no ebi encounter na unya common cold bi. So you give yourself a distance away from the person. So you distance yourself at least 2 feet away from the person. Said be the droplets na any day ebi to me encounter. Medical bobo some of the treatments no so the treatment is based on the clinical manifestations or the signs and symptoms. And our things we say, person over fair and apart from a drew na year fun. So when you're common cold, you beg show say open so baby. because the more we sneezing and the more we coughing no. You see no more so you're dehydrated, because the moment you become dehydrated, your esophagus and I say your respiratory tract, it becomes very dry. When it becomes dry, a boama virus na ewo ho no they thrive more. Nti se ho ye dry omunya adwuma ye anase omunya baby ye comfortable, then you see that they will be multiplying. But when you are hydrated and then you get enough fluids to drink, it also helps you to relieve you of some of the signs and symptoms. And I think so you say rest and sleep. Medical can say common cold and some of the symptoms near fatigue and I said tiredness and I said body weakness. She said, oh, Phyllis, body weakness where you best say, oh, bet you one home. What brain or go so ye, as a crampona, Emma, a drona wafani en ye juma. Into what fair drona or born by no what she one home, so said ye bay a drona wafano, a bit in a ye jumana, I think up wow. And I feel so for your sore throat and I itchy throat. Unya tap water and a bottle water and a sachet water, the engine you now the inchine kakra atum. I think would the go minima, then you gargle it. Said a bit wash your throat. You don't swallow, you gargle the water into oya, and wash your throat, and wash your throat, and wash your throat. It helps to keep your throat very moist, and then it doesn't keep it dry for them to cause that soreness and I said that itchiness into uriana. What to insure egu sa salt water na ye many enkoyemu into all the gargle through that it relieves you of the congestion, it relieves you of the stiffness, and then it relieves you of the tension that is in your throat. That will help you. Said you would be relieved. So afena we're joining here. We are talking about common cold. Now yakasa common cold is a viral infection. And now, some signs and symptoms of common cold. So it starts with runny nose, itchy throat, sore throat. Then it aggravates to headaches. It aggravates to cough. The edge abra from karatu about your bar, your betwas. Welcome back to the Health Talk Show on Promise City TV. So before we left, we were discussing about common cold. We spoke about what common cold is. We spoke about some of the signs and symptoms of common cold. And we went into the treatment for common cold. So we are going to continue our conversation from here. So common cold is not a bacterial infection. Sena medical kind a viral infection. To we can say into seminar cold na semifa antibiotics a ebekwana debi. Enko because it is not caused by a bacterial infection. Into antibiotics now ofano bacteria be any honoma it is working against, so it was not going to work. So you don't use antibiotics to treat common cold, but rather, earlier on, you treat common cold based on the signs and symptoms. Inti say, oh, runny nose, they will give you a medication for your runny nose. When you have a headache, they will give you pain reliefs. When you have sore throat, you gargle with salt water or warm saline water. When you have the itchy throat, you go for the warm water. When you have the headaches, you go for the pain reliefs. So antibiotics is a no for common cold. And when common cold usually lasts between 3 to 7 days, it's when your cold and down, the body in itself, and as Yakupon aboyeni in such a way, say our immune system fights against infections and diseases. One no more because I said, then I'm me basa basa at the chin and me what me. I didn't see what top. One fed will be a 1 year shin so what tom. And it chess and Yankupon up boy immune system and answer one my system be a friend in the immune system. It helps protect us against infections. So when these infections come into the bloodstreams or come into our body, the immune system fights against it. They manifest when the immune system is not able to fight against the infection. And in pain P, money they started with itchy throats. I said, then the minimum can I na echo. It wouldn't aggravate anything on feeling cold beer, on your runny nose beer, on your headache beer, on your shit, and any other manifestation. The immune system has been able to fight against the virus, so it wasn't able to manifest. But here lies the case when your immune system is not strong enough. And then I say, and there's on your itchy throats. Was a diabetes aggravating into sore throat. The next day, then when we say a manifesting with runny nose, then you see it goes forward to the cough. Then before you realize that it happens with the headache and then the fever. Not just say your immune system is not strong enough to fight against the infection. That is where you step in by taking these medication. Now, we back as a medication, you say common cold between 3 to 7 days. So immune system now fighting a crown now with the help of medication. Approximately within 10 days, your common cold must go. But here is the case. I've been having cold for 15 days, 12 days. Right after 10 days, I wafa a drew, wafa pain relief, wafa cough mixture. Just a wafa the obefibia, but it is not going. Then it means that there is an underlying cause. You must take it to the hospital. So after 10 days, when your symptoms persist, after 10 days still you are having the itchy throat, after 10 days you are still having the sore throat, after 10 days you are still having the headaches, after 10 days you are still having the fever, the runny nose, the cough, then it means that you must stop the medications and go to the hospital for further checkup. For all you know, it might not be common cold, it might be another infection, but it is presenting itself with the signs and symptoms of common cold. And say when you're cold, I say when you're cold for about 10 days now, for about 15 days now, and I say enquire, Mr. Young watching an opportunity to hospital na yen check him up, because it might be that there is an underlying condition. Common cold affects both children and adults. But with the case of children, it's a common cold here akola. Unlike the adults now, when you see these manifestations, you can go for the over-the-counter medication. When common cold affects babies, you don't self-medicate them, because at that particular point, the immune system of the child is not built enough, it is not strong enough. So for all you know, it cannot bind with the receptors, or the medication cannot work as it is supposed to work. You do not know the strength of the medication. Some medications are there, the dosage the adult will take, that is not the same dosage the child will take. But one find akola na ko hospital asanyema we nyina enti afa ne say paracetamol offer me you know when your mama akola ne baako. It doesn't work that way. Enti children are very delicate. Children, their situation is different because their immune systems are not built enough like the adults. Enti say what say obano when you're running nose or bowan kakra these manifestations of common cold, don't go to the pharmacy to get medication for him or her. For akwala ko hospital and ayaresabia na doctors ne nurses omo de enhwe no na so panyin ne de se these signs you can go for the over-the-counter medications, but when it persists for up to 10 days, that's still what fedra far, and then what na oko hospital. Common cold affects the upper respiratory tract infection, but if you do not take care, the infection can travel to your lower respiratory tract. Now it will cause another problem. So some of the prognosis and some of the outcomes of common cold when not treated is that it can affect your lungs, it can affect your liver, it can affect your alveoli, because the air we breathe, and I say na ye home koye mu no na ekose common cold where your upper respiratory tract, if it is not solved and if it is not treated, it travels down to your lower respiratory tract and it can affect your lungs, it can affect your alveoli, it can affect your lower respiratory tract, your trachea, and then everything. And you know, so when you're common cold, let's say 3 days now, 4 days now, as we have symptoms now, you better say call pharmacy and I say call drugstore, be a bell over the counter medication ura honoma. Besa pharmacist o cheche mu che no signs and symptoms am obema wo adua ebeboa wo said ye beye wo pomodin ebesi so na esita se na ye sum nyame aye tu obra akwantu yi wo se ye ma ya pomodin ho ehia ye efise se enne unni ahoden na se wunni nkwa untimi empesika untimi nyame adwuma ye brain enya aye bre ye de discussion ebesi ha say na ansa na ye be konna me kamfo ye conference kese pa ye wo let's go and let God conference. It is happening on Wednesday the 20th to the Friday the 22nd of May 2026 with Apostle Mrs. Benis Ajamai Prempe and Pastor Joe Edu, our Promised Land Faith Ministries International Asafo Tema Community 1 Goy Filling Station a chihope a bayer powerful a bayer mega. It is a fee on bini bibia ye tonsa for se brana any ye and brana and besum. Let's go and let's code situation ni a do baby a wahden a pim. Or how no come a ju baby why ya untimi ye bim for one day to form no man yan coupon a humo bruno and kasa. Let the mercies of God intervene in your situation and your life will never be the same. Na yes, so adaye mami Apostle Mrs. Benis Ajamai Prempe ase mami baby I will be a kasa yan coupon on show na onya wo kese pa ya papa Mr. Benjamin Ajamai Prempe papa God bless you so much for your support and for your backing day in and day out. Now me sign account for Promised Land Faith Ministries International Asafo Amal. Ya Watema Community 1 Goy Filling Station Echi Hope. Ya sanso wo Ashaiman Atadeka 40 rooms Coco Junction. And our face you were Promise City New Doyum Shy Hills Quineswa. Your first right turn after the Frontier Filling Station. So opesa only Promised Land Faith Ministries International Asumam. Ya bro online Bible study every Monday 7 p.m. pepepe. Ewo Promise City TV and I say Promised Land Faith Ministries International. Ewo Facebook Live. Yet na se na ya chenya me asem na ya kenkan Bible. If we senya me asem so or the assembly ne bonipa. Wankwiti asem na anya hwe uye Kristo ni na se asem ni eni umu a. Na chese uwiase na wonam no. I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one goes through the Father except through me. If the word is in you, you have power and you have authority. After the Faith Hour bro every Wednesday, Promised Land Faith Ministries International Asafo Watema Community 1, right behind the Goy Filling Station. Faith Hour with Apostle Mrs. Benis Ajamai Prempe. Wednesday be at 10 a.m. prompt ya shasi. Area 2 pepepe na ya pon ya tonsa for sebra any yembesum na nyame be nyame ewo situation. The mercies of God will surely intervene in your situation. I think the manifestation half night service ebro every Friday 8 p.m. pepepe, 12 a.m. na yapon ye de empire den ni nyame asem efro akoduma hengwa nanim se nyankopon ma ne humobro enkasa emfamaye afei nso ye sum Sunday bia e wotema community 1 Kwai filling station echi hope ye victory service Sunday 8 a.m. pepepe 12 noon na yapon Sunday nansi wa Atadeka 40 rooms Coco Junction 6 p.m. na ya shasiye for visitation Promise City TV at the visitation ebro every Tuesday to Friday with Apostle Mrs. Benes Ajimai Prempe 12 noon area 12 pepepe na ye dem paibo den ni nyame asem ebro obetimi edi echi wo Promise City TV anata TikTok and Facebook at the visitation hour ebro afei erabi at the exaltation drive time ebro every Wednesday 7 o'clock p.m. pepepe right here our Promise City TV or show crying ewo nyame mu nyame akwanto ya yetui ana ye Kristo sum sa yetui ye hye ye hu crying ewo nyame asemu afei nso ye Pastor Jessica at the inspirational hour ebro every Thursday 3 o'clock pepepe ewo Promise City TV na edu kwasi ada say ya majimekwe ya na the Health Talk Show right here on Promise City TV wapomodin hu hia ye entina ye be kasafa ya pomodin hu sede ye be ya yesum nyame na ye ma ye ni ekwa pomodin hu Bible say watch and pray entino wapomodin ehu ehia men sorry so abramin kanfo nyankopon emfama se o hweme baby a wo hweme bia se woni nkwaje a na me kanfo Yesu amafi se o nkwaje bre eye ne your salvation is now bisa ba se o kwa sorry nso wonim Yesu enne so sanne ni monyamu a unkobi na me kanfo ma se fa ohoma Yesu fa ohoma Kristo o kwaje bre eye ne tomorrow might be too late. God bless you and see you next week.